responsibility. Whose dhimma are they in? They're in the dhimma of Allah and His Messenger. Fi dhimmati Allahi wa rasulihi. And that's your responsibility, the Muslims, to protect and defend their mosques, their synagogues, their churches. And according to the Maliki and Hanafi schools that were operative in the majority of the Islamic lands, also the Buddhist temples, the Hindu temples, because the Shafi'is restrict it to the three major Ahlul Kitab, Jews, Christians, and then the Majus. It said, "Man adali dhimmiyan fa ana khasmuhu yawm al-qiyamah." Whoever harms a dhimmi, a Jew, a Christian, or anybody else in a covenant with the Muslims, whoever harms them, I will be the advocate of that dhimmi on the Day of Judgment. The Prophet will be the advocate of that dhimmi. Now, one of the things I want to in Egypt, it took 300 years before the Muslims reached 50% of the population. 500 years. So during all of that early period, the majority of people in those countries were not Muslims. And if you read in the history, and just one example of this, because it's very important in relation to Andalusia. One example that there are several million Coptic Christians in Egypt. Really, I think it's a source of pride. It's not a source of failure for the Muslims. It's a source of pride that their churches were protected in a time when the Europeans were literally banishing from their land anything that had to do not only with other religions, but with Christian doctrines that did not accord with their own. So the Catholics were expelling Unitarians. And when the Protestants emerged, the Catholics persecuted them mercilessly. Many of the great Protestants, these people could rise up. So a cobbler could become a minister. Sidi Ahmed Zarruq was a cobbler. He was a very poor man in the 9th century in Fez.